rewarding, and now he's going to get trapped, and I don't even think she needs help to kill anything at this point. But Pharaoh is going to come in there, and the real Forsaken Archer was trapped in that mummy wall, I do believe. Bubbles coming out, throwing out a lot of stuff, using his portal key combination, but it's not going to work this time round. Hag, the perfect placement, and now Andromeda, it looks like, to be on the back burner as well as she goes down. Great reactionary play. So we lost that Witch Slayer, but the Hellborn team can get up in there and clean up really easily, it seemed, that time.
Yeah, definitely. They really helped out their Witch Slayer. The byproduct, another reason why they even got that kill on Witch Slayer in the first place was another beautiful Word of Sight placed by I was like on Danish Dynamite there, and managed to let Forsaken Archer pick up the kill. But then Pharaoh kind of came in, and then Sablane Showdown went down, and then Wretched Hag ult, and well, yeah.
Yeah, and well, the rest, we all know what happened.
It was history. As they could just go back to farming again. Pebbles being the only one left alive.
Was Pebbles even in the fight? Or did he run out early?
Not.
No.
He didn't even bother going in. By the time he was able to even blink in, it was too late.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, so 27-21. We still have a big advantage here to the Legion in order of close to 10,000 experience, 9,000 gold. And that is still, I mean, it's, well, I don't know, it's a very passive game almost at this point. The towers are down, there's still some fights going on, but 35 minutes into the game, nobody has really a clear advantage into the base or, of course, the barracks. And as we all know, those are the big important keys at this point. Doesn't matter really what your kills are, you can easily return that favor with a nice big Rax push. Did someone just disconnect?
Yeah, Plague Rider accidentally disconnected, but they didn't bother pausing for him. He was immediately reconnecting. It might have been a connection issue or something silly like that.
I was expecting a pause, I suppose. I never saw one, so.
Nah, they didn't care.
Yeah, it's all right. But I think last time I looked at the score, it was 21-14 for the Legion. Now it's 27-21. So that's a little bit of the gap narrowed. A few more fights, and we might actually start seeing it balance out more towards the Hellborn.
Well, they definitely have a really strong mid game and even a late game setup. They have Flint Beastwood. They have a couple more semi carries than the Legion team does. But they're only really semi carries being Pebbles and a little bit of Bubbles. But Forsaken Archer's their main carry. So they're all kind of grouping up top here, maybe looking to push this top tower as everyone kind of moves around. Witch Slayer is doing some warding while everyone's kind of preoccupied picking up an illusion rune. Unfortunately, what the Hellborn team doesn't know is that they're standing directly underneath a ward, so we might see some initiation coming in from the Legion team, maybe. It depends on who has the gonads, maybe Pebbles, maybe. Just maybe.
Gonads of stone. Go.
There it goes. He blinks on top of Wretched Hag, putting down the combo on top of him. Unfortunately, not taking him out the Sablane Showdown, coming down, taking out Pebbles almost instantaneously, dropping Bubbles really low as you see the ultimate coming out from Bubbles, and Wretched Hag's DPSing down. Andromeda's the Plague Rider ultimate comes out on top, almost killing Wretched Hag, and putting a little bit of damage into Chipper, but then hat trick coming out for
Chipper
Brown, which is the Chipper. So the Sablane Showdown was really nicely placed. As you see, another 3-for-2 coming out on top for the Hellborn team. So they are going to be able to push this tower, unfortunately, but the portal's coming in, so maybe not.
Well, that's the fun thing about a Glyph of Defense. It can really afford you some nice time to do what you need to do. But, oh, great lure and bait there by the Forsaken Archer and Plague Rider. But I do think that Forsaken Archer, third death of the game. And that's a genocide.
Genocide.
Ooh, I did not see that coming, I don't think.
Yeah, they managed to pin down the Wretched Hag and get a little bit of a whole bunch of damage on him, but I don't think sacrificing yourself is worth killing a Wretched Hag who just blinked out just in time and they set up the kill on him. So really a bit of an overplay by the Legion team there.
A little bit too overconfident,
yeah. 29-26 now as the Hellborn team's making this game. Big comeback. We said earlier in the game it didn't look like they had much hope, but they're making an interesting game for us, which is great. The last game you and I casted together was a big stomp, so it's nice to see this happening. Nice close games are always fun, especially between teams with a rivalry like this, as we see some ports coming in, the Triple Rockets Nothing interesting is going to come. Actually, I lied. Bubbles blinks in, puts the ultimate down, but he might have been overextending himself. His team is not anywhere near him as he gets DPS down by Flint Beastwood and the Pebbles combination coming out and trying to take down Witchlayer, which he's successful in, but they're still putting on the chase. The Hellborn team is taking down Pebbles really low as you see the Pharaoh ultimate coming out on top of Andromeda, able to take him. Oh, actually, no, a beautiful swap coming in, swapping out Plague Rider for himself, but then he still ends up going down as Plague Rider puts out the ultimate. The ultimate bouncing around between the creeps and the heroes, not enough to take down anyone, though, as we see another really, really well-played team fight. Well, more like one person walks in, one person doesn't come out again.
It was almost like a single file kind of feeding entry point there for the Legion. Just they went in one by one and kind of got smashed.
Yeah, it was the charity football hall for the Hellborn team, letting them come back in the game. They're just being nice, and they're just going to turn this around right at the end as soon as it gets even. 30-29 hero kill lead for the Legion team, which is slowly dropping as actually the experience lead jumps for the Hellborn team after that little display. And actually, you know what? The gold lead's being decimated right now. Only 170 gold lead for the Legion team. So this game is essentially just got it's even now. Even in all regards, except for towers. Actually, you know what? They have the Hellborn team has one less tower. Do you know what? No, it is even. They have all the towers.
7-6.
I'm sorry,
7-6.
7-6. Whatever. Blah blah blah.
Get your facts.
But yeah, this is
straight.
getting really good. This is really close as you see them kind of sitting around farming as all four of the Legion heroes are kind of sitting up with the Ancients for some reason. Warding, I suppose. Flint Beastwood just farming the jungle. Really exciting game, though. The only person standing out, though, unfortunately for the Hellborn team, in the positive kill-to-death ratio is Forsaken Archer sitting at level 22. Everybody else is on the negative side, as we see a blinking in coming in from Pharaoh trying to take down somebody, but apparently got swapped out by Andromeda, and the Cellblade Showdown coming out top of both Andromeda and the Andromeda and Pebbles taking him down easily, as you see the Forsaken Archer all coming out on top of everybody, almost dropping down somebody else, taking down Pharaoh, actually, luckily, but she's still in there with the popped illusions, taking down a lot of damage. Chipper on a slither of health, he might be able to make it out, but the Frostbow Skull is going to slow him down, and he's not going to make it, unfortunately. So a little bit of a turnaround there from the Legion team as they got initiated on by Pharaoh, but...
Well, I think it came down to the Andromeda swap that really saved a lot of the damage. Oh, what are you guys doing? Forsaken Archer picks up a hat trick with the death of that Witchlayer. So she picks up those 2 kills, goes off, gets another one to complete the hat trick, and really, that was just terrible placement on their part. But of course, I mean, the wards are right now, I think, really just got decimated. They just finished up that counter warding, so they had no vision and nothing of it. Have you noticed the Chipper during the fights has been really throwing out that focus buffer to negate a lot of magic damage this game?
Which is a really, really great idea considering the magic damage coming out from the Hellborn team, or the Legion team, rather. But I think really what that team fight came down to was not paying enough attention to the Forsaken Archer. Kind of just came in, put down the ult, put down the crippling volley, and just destroyed some kids. The Cellblade Showdown was really, really well placed, taking down Pebbles and Andromeda? Yes. Anyway, that was really well placed, but there really was no other follow-up on any of the other heroes. Forsaken Archer was just allowed to throw arrows out on them and take them all down one by one, so...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that ultimate does do a lot of damage. Just looking at it now, that's 225 damage an arrow, and she shoots for a good little while there. But yeah, I mean, in all senses, this game has really done a big shift in momentum. Right now, Hellborn are feeling really good because they've really brought it up, and now even as the numbers don't lie, I mean, 4,000 experience, 700 gold. I mean, that's coming back from a deficit of nearly the 10,000 range. So very impressive teamwork for them, but really, this later game is not treating this Legion side too well at all. I mean, Forsaken Archer, fine, she's a powerhouse, but ultimately, I mean, she's at the best point of the game right now, and now we've kind of surpassing into the late. I mean, her items really don't get this much better. All right, so the longer this game goes, just only the more powerful that Hellborn get at this point.
Well, it's all going to come down to team fight synergy, as you've seen. It can really go either way. The Hellborn won quite a few team fights in a row there, but as the Legion team just proved to us, they can bring back a team fight even if they get initiated on. So I think it's really going to come down to the team fights, and then it's going to make this a really exciting game outside of the farming that keeps going on.
Well, before we get bored to tears with the farming, let's just take a quick look at the item update. Really nothing on that Bubbles. He's still sitting nice and pretty on everything, but we do have an Acolyte staff on that Pebble, so it looks like he's going to most likely be going for a Frostfield plate, but I do believe an Acolyte staff could be a sheep stick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it could go either way, but I'm thinking it's going to be a Frostfield plate, because a Frostfield plate is a really, really good counter. As you see some initiation going on down here on the
Bubble.
chipper. And that's going to be it for him, but his Sawblade Showdown did a significant amount of damage to Pebbles and Plague Rider, so... Well, even though it wasn't the greatest turner for him, that's a plus, I guess.
Meh, yeah.
What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about Frostfield plate, which is the likely pickup item here. But I just really got to notice that the focus buffer goes down, and really you saw kind of a temporary lull. Okay, well, don't cast anything on him. Okay, fine, just go smack him in the face with my, fist of stone. It's kind of what the reaction I saw there. But I mean, focus buffer is just not a skill that's used to great effect enough. It's just really such a great skill to go up, especially against a team this magic heavy. So Kongolstein, or Kongorstein, or however you want to say him, he's been aggravated, but it looks like they're going to be backing off. And I really said that Forsaken Archer's items can't get any better. She's picked up a Slayer, probably the first bit towards a Savage Mace, maybe?
Absolutely.
What else is a Slayer used for? Doombringer?
Doombringer. And if he picks up a Doombringer, then officially PQ is my favorite player in the entire game if he picks up a Doombringer. As you see, Wretched Hag kind of gonna go mess around with Kongolstein there, who I believe is the greatest skin for Kongor has ever had. Santa Claus Kongor, not as cool as this guy.
I've never seen the Santa Claus one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome. If you take a look at Wretched Hag, actually, she's interesting me the most. She has 2 great Arcanas going for the
Harkon.
The Hellflower.
Oh, sorry, Hellflower. Not Harkon.
Sorry, Hellflower is it's probably the greatest item she can pick up, because what it does is it perplexes people and silences them and allows them to take more damage. You put that on top of a Forsaken Archer who has a Shrunken Head and a Frostwolf Skull and a Geo's Bane. That essentially completely nullifies the Geo's Bane and the Shrunken Head. So that's like almost all of her effectiveness taken away, just like that.
Well, sure, it'll nullify, but if you can't kill her in that time, she's just gonna pop him as soon as she's up.
Well, that's kind of the game.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Kill Forsaken Archer.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, take her down. The rest should be cake. Sure, yeah. I understand where you're coming from there. Let's get back to the core there. So Andromeda has farmed enough money for quite a few items there. Glowstone, Mighty Blade, Ring of the Teacher, and not a ward to be found.
Well, they've already placed all their wards. A lot of them has been countered, actually.
I don't think any by yellow, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could be right. As we know, the ward game has gone back and forth a lot simply because of the efforts of Marok playing on that Witch Slayer.
I'm assuming they're going to pick up some more wards too. A couple of the wards are being stopped. But anyway, as you see some initiation coming in from the Bubbles and the Pebbles, blinking in on top of the Chipper, putting down the Sawblade Showdown, able to take down Pebbles to half health, but the combo is going to be enough to take him down. Forsaken Archer's in there doing her thing with the against what am I talking about? Andromeda goes down too somehow. Oh, there's just this action's really scattered. As you see Pharaoh blinking in on top of Forsaken Archer, but it's going to be enough. Yeah, he takes down Forsaken Archer. Plague Rider will bounce it around. Shrunken Heads going everywhere. Golden Men running around. Oh god, Pebbles is pretty low. Is he going to be able to take out Pebbles? Pebbles is probably going to get away with the Geo's Bane on top of Bubbles. He doesn't have enough. He has enough mana just barely to port, but I think they might be able to catch him. This is going to be the chase for Bubbles. Let's see how good he blinks, but he stood still for some reason. As you see, Pebbles does get taken down by the double tap, actually. Anyway, I think Pebbles is taken down by... There's too much action going on. Jeez.
Pebbles went down, Bubbles went down. It's 4 kills there for the Legion, and, 4 deaths on the Legion. The only one surviving that was the Plague Rider, and he picks up a double damage rune, I guess, just to deny it from that Flint. But it did look like the Legion had that fight well in hand until... I guess Flint just wasn't part of it until near the end, and of course we had the Pharaoh blink in, well, portal in, whatever his ultimate does. What would you call that? A slide in?